In love, recognition and praise can create magical power. Praising my husband is not only a way for me to express my feelings, but also helps to strengthen the relationship. I often wonder, how can my compliments become a bridge between two hearts? Let's explore simple but effective secrets to compliment my husband in a subtle and sincere way. Compliments not only make my husband feel proud, but also open the doors of love that I have always expected. So how can I arouse my husband's affection and care? Let's follow along to find out the best ways to compliment my husband. Compliments from the heart always have a special power. Of course, I also communicate orally and use words to convey compliments to my husband. However, I realize that the most effective way to compliment my husband is when the compliments come from the heart, from my true feelings about him. Sweet words are easy to say but do not leave a deep impression on my husband. On the contrary, the person I love will feel that I am not sincere enough and am just complimenting him as a courtesy. If my husband is not really handsome but I keep complimenting him that he looks like a Korean actor, he will definitely doubt the sincerity of those compliments. I chose to love my husband and stick with him, so there must be things in him that I can compliment. A husband who often helps others will be very happy when I compliment him that he is kind. At that time, those compliments are not fake or flattering, but are what I really feel from my husband. Meaningless compliments. Praise is an art. When I first met him, if I said things like, "You are so tall" or "You are so smart," he would definitely be happy. He would probably smile and even smile when he got home because of my sweet compliments. But I realized that what is old is no longer the best. If I keep repeating the obvious things that everyone knows, he might feel that I am boring and don't really understand him. Those compliments should really only be used for social relationships or even when we are just getting to know each other, because such emotional genetic comments do not reflect his efforts and hard work. A person's appearance is determined by his parents' genes, and intelligence is also an innate talent that is determined very early. Instead, I should focus on what he has achieved. Praising him for being hard-working and ambitious will indirectly acknowledge his efforts and hard work. That is the result of his constant learning and determination. I will think carefully about the meaning of the compliment before saying it, so that my compliments are truly valuable. So how to combine compliments and criticism appropriately is something I often think about. When I want to give my husband a compliment and a criticism, how will I do it? Perhaps I will not ask him, "Do you choose to hear good news or bad news?" I also do not choose to compliment first to calm his mood, then say what I want him to change, and finally conclude the story with a neutral comment. If I choose one of the two styles above, then perhaps I have completely made a mistake in the art of complimenting my husband. Compliments in the style of buffet or rice cake sandwiched with meat, with criticism between the two compliments, will not help reduce the tension and impact of what I want to say. Letting him choose will make the story go in a direction that I do not want. On the contrary, if I praise and criticize at the same time, his brain will have to process 3 streams of information at the same time. Meanwhile, the brain will prioritize remembering the negative things and forget my positive compliments. So what is the right way to praise your husband combined with criticism? In my opinion, criticize first and praise later. Because when the brain processes that information as a criticism, it will automatically turn on the warning and increase concentration to receive the next information. He will remember what I said after being criticized. And my job was just to give him a compliment to end the story, so that the last thing that remained in his mind was the recognition I gave him. Praise him in front of others. In a relationship, there is no room for a third person. Praising him in front of friends or colleagues is not just a matter of words, but also a way to express pride and affection for him. When I say, "My husband is really excellent at work," he will feel more confident when communicating with people around him. This can be explained because the evaluations from close people are sometimes not objective and not as meaningful as the opinions from outsiders. Moreover, praising your husband in front of friends will make him feel more secure and make sure that I consider him a source of pride and honor every time I mention him. He will know that not only me, but also the people around him look at him with respect and admiration. To let him see the positive reactions from his friends about those compliments, I can take a screenshot of the conversation or tell him about it with joy and pride. This will be a great motivation, helping him to be more determined to improve himself and be more aware of his position in the relationships around him. I believe that sincere compliments not only affirm his value, but are also a way for me to show my love and respect for my loved one. When he feels appreciated, he will be more confident, and our love will be stronger. Therefore, praising him skillfully and sincerely is very important in every relationship. Giving compliments even when he fails is a true art that needs to be cultivated and understood. Praising your husband when he does well is important in building a relationship, but knowing how to praise him in difficult times and failures shows the delicacy and depth in our relationship. Men often shoulder heavy responsibilities, being the pillars that protect the family home. However, no one can avoid stumbling, feeling tired, or even having moments of weakness. When my husband goes through difficult times, I always realize that that is when I need to stand by him, be his constant companion. Recognizing his efforts in dark moments is what I always keep in mind. Moreover, giving him sincere compliments and encouragement from the heart will create great mental strength. These words are not just words, but like a spiritual medicine, helping him to get up and regain his spirit to continue trying. Because when my husband realizes that there is always at least one person supporting him, always watching over him and sharing his sadness, he will feel more motivated to overcome the challenge. Timely praise will let him know that although life may not be favorable, I still recognize and value all his efforts. Men are often very sensitive to self-esteem and understanding. The power of compliments in difficult times is a lighthouse, illuminating the way to help him escape the dark sea and move towards the light of the future. I understand that when life becomes challenging, a little recognition from me can become a great motivation to help my husband stand up and continue his journey. When my husband feels my support, he will feel that he is not alone in the fight, but has someone who always believes in his abilities. I often take the time to talk about his strengths, even the smallest efforts when he fails. When I say, "You tried so hard, and that's the most important thing," he will feel that his value lies not only in his success or failure, but in his constant efforts. I always remind myself that compliments, no matter how small, can create magic in his soul. Just a word, a hug, or a loving look, I believe I can help my husband overcome the most difficult times. That is how we build a strong and lasting love together, despite all the challenges of life. The English poet Thomas Fuller once asserted that a compliment doesn't cost you a penny, but many people are willing to pay a high price for it. This is truly true, especially in a romantic relationship. If I know how to compliment my husband with tact and understanding, it will become a valuable advantage in my married life. A sincere compliment not only brings joy, but also motivates him to develop and improve himself. When my husband hears compliments from me, he feels recognized and loved. That is something that cannot be compared to anything, and he will be willing to pay his whole life to hear sweet words from me. A compliment can light up his soul, help him overcome difficulties in life. He will feel more confident in work, in relationships, and in love. It is understanding and respecting each other that will create a solid foundation for our love. Therefore, I always cherish every compliment, knowing that they are not just words but also a bridge connecting our hearts. Compliments are priceless gifts that I can give to my husband, and he will always remember it in his heart. With each compliment, I not only nurture my love, but also affirm his own value in this life. Thank you for following my sharing about how to compliment your husband. Love is not only about romantic moments, but also about nurturing our relationship with mutual recognition and appreciation. Every compliment, no matter how small, can create great impacts, helping your husband feel loved and respected. I hope that the tips I have shared will help you find subtle ways to express your feelings, thereby building a stronger and happier relationship. I believe that every woman can become the greatest source of encouragement in her partner's life. Don't hesitate to share your views on this topic in the comments section. If you find this information useful, follow the channel so you don't miss the next articles with more interesting and useful content. See you again in the next conversations, where we can discover more secrets to nurture love and happiness together.